In this video, I'm going to show you how to assess student work in chalk and wire. As an adjunct instructor, if you are teaching one of the core courses, you'll be required to do two assessments on students. The first one, the signature rubric, you can see here. I'm on the dashboard screen. This is the first screen you see when you log in. This is the Pending Assessments tab. You'll see this tab as long as you have something to assess. If a student has submitted work to you, you will see this tab. If not, if there's nothing to assess, then you will not see this tab. Once you have it, you can click here to set it as the default tab. So whenever you log in to chalk and wire, you'll go straight here, which will make it easier. The signature rubric is the signature assignment that students will submit to you during the course. So the student attaches a paper and they submit it to you, and you'll get an email notification that there's work to submit. You can just ignore that email notification. That's all it is a notification. Just delete it and just log in to chalk and wire to be able to see their work. The login for chalk and wire is www.chalkandwire.com/Graceland, and that is provided for you on your support page in My Graceland. The second rubric here is the dispositions rubric. So you are going to evaluate the dispositions of your students as well. Now there's nothing for the student to submit to you here, so you're going to do this for the student, and it's called a manual assessment. And you can see the difference here. This one is called a manual assessment. This one is a normal assessment where the student submitted the work to you. On the manual assessment for the dispositions, I set that up for you. I match up a rubric with the students in your course and with you as the teacher. You'll also get email notifications for those, but again, you don't need to save them. I'll do that sometime during the semester, and at the end of the semester, you'll want to come here and complete the dispositions rubric for each of your students. So let's just take a look at how we're going to assess work in chalk and wire. So let's start with the signature rubric. It says pending. That means it hasn't been assessed yet. So I'm going to click pending and choose assess. Now the page you see here is the actual page of that student's portfolio. You can see this is for the course Human Relations. This is their signature assignment that they've submitted to you, and anything else that they have attached to the page you'll be able to see. So you can first review their work and then assess them with the rubric below. Now this assessment panel here can just be hidden by clicking this arrow. That gives you more room to work, so you can easily bring that up or down. You have some options to respond back to the student besides the ratings. You can leave comments, and so one of the ways is to just open this paper, save it to your computer, type in it, add your comments, whatever, type in it, save it, and then in this assessment panel on the far right there's an attachment spot. So you would just attach this file right back to the student so they can see their work with your comments. That's one option. If the student has submitted the paper to you as a Word document, you also have this view option where you can just open it right on the same screen in your web browser, which makes it very easy. So you can see that here's the student's paper, and you have some commenting options, some other options, highlighting and other things you can do. So say I wanted to put a comment in here, I would just choose a comment and find a place I want to comment, and here's my comment. So you can just do that throughout. You can highlight areas, add comments to areas, add text, whatever you want to do within the page. when you're done, you don't need to save that. You just close the document viewer, and now you can see it's called an annotated document, that it is saved for you, and the student will have access to this when they see your assessment. Okay, so now we're ready to complete the rubric. We'll open the pane back up, the assessment pane. And the rubric is made up of criterion rows. This first one is on topics and concepts in tasks 4 and 5. If I hover my mouse over it, you can see the description there, what the student is expected to do or know. You have 4 basic ratings. Proficient is the beginning one on the left, and then that goes down to unsatisfactory as a 1 on the right. So you're just going to select a rating and then choose next, select a rating, next, select a rating, next. You can see the number of dots here at the bottom and how they turn green as I continue across. So when you reach the last dot, you are finished with the rubric. Now, say for this specific criterion, I wanted to comment on that. I can say here in this comment box, good job on the standard, and so that is attached to this specific criterion. Or over here in the overall comments, I can add a comment. So either way, the student is going to see your comments. These are probably for just short little comments that you would want to leave for the student. When you get to the end, I'm just going to go ahead and get to the end here. And I'm going to leave a few undone just to show you what happens when you miss a few. When you're done, click Save. And it tells you that it's been saved. Now, the first time I saw this, I was a little surprised. I thought, I'm done with the page. When I click Save, I expected to be taken to a new screen. I'm done with this screen. But it doesn't. It leaves you here. So I think probably the easiest thing for you to do is to come up in the top side menu, go back to the dashboard, to your pending assessment screen. You're familiar with that. That's where you started out at. Your other option is to click this check mark here, and this takes you to an assessment screen. And you can see that it's showing me I have 1 incomplete assessment. This is the one I just finished, and I didn't go all the way through, so it's telling me that that's incomplete. So if that happens to you, if you happen to miss a criterion, just click on incomplete and choose complete, and that will take you back to the rubric and you can finish it. On this screen you can also show your all pending assessments, so if you'd finish this one, you can go directly to the next one and assess that one. So let's go ahead and do that. We're on the dispositions now. I just want to show you the difference between the 2 rubrics. I'm going to click Assess here. And notice you didn't see the page of the student's portfolio. That's because it wasn't submitted by the student. There's nothing attached. There's no paper to look at. You're just based on your observations of your students in the class during that term or that semester, you're going to evaluate their dispositions. So again, look, it's a much larger scale, a 1 to 10, with a not observed option. And if you hover your mouse over each one, again, this will give you the description. And it also tells you the last sentence of each one explains how the disposition is characterized. So reflects is characterized by critical thinking, initiative, open-mindedness, efficacy, and humility. So this is something that you'll want to look at and review when you're assessing your student. And as you hover your mouse across, you can see a 10 is proficient and also a 9 is proficient. So there's different levels of proficiency. An 8 is basic, so is a 7, so is a 6. So it's the same 4 basic ratings, but it's split up 10 ways. So you can have you can really fine-tune your assessment of this student. Again, you have comment options here and a comment option here. If you wanted to upload some sort of paper back to them, you could attach a document here. And so those are the ways that you can comment. And again, you would just want to click Save when you're done. So that's it for assessment.